Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We will sing Jai Radha Madhava to begin with. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Rajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Rajajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Am I still audible?
Yes, Mataji, you are audible, but if you have a way to increase the volume a little bit, it will be good. Your voice is faint. If you can increase the volume.
Okay, let me try that. Just give me one moment, Prabhu. I'm doing that.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Is this better, Prabhuji?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh, okay, good. I can do a little more also, but just checking.
No, this is good. This is
This
good.
is good? Okay, good. Okay, Prabhuji. So, we are here on Wednesday, and welcome all the devotees to the ISV's Wednesday class. I was thinking to talk about the glories of Pandarpur Dham. The reason being, we are approaching Ashadi Ekadashi just in few days over the weekend. So it's very special occasion that on the day of Ashadi Ekadashi, all the devotees, they travel to Pandarpur and take darshan of the Vittala Dev there. So that is why I was trying to choose this topic. So we will do the pranam mantras. Before that, if you can share, we can do the pranam mantra.
Sorry, Mataji. Yeah, I'll just a minute. I will share.
Yes. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Let's
So Vittal Bhagwan Panduranga is also called as Panduranga, situated in Pandarpur, and the great saints of Maharashtra, the devotees of Pandarinath, they wrote, जेव्हा नवते चराचर तेव्हा होते पंढरपूर आधी रचली पंढरी नंतर रचली वैकुंठ नगरी. So they are saying that when none of the uh, parts of the universe is existing, the Pandarpur still existed at that time, and Adi Rachili Pandari, Lord, created Pandarpur before he created Vaikuntha. That is what the great saints have written. Now, in Pandarpur Dham, there are a lot of stories and pastimes of the Lord and his devotees connected to this Dham. So, we will go from different aspects involved about the Dham, and then we'll go through those pastimes. And to begin with, We know that for the Ekadashi that comes in Ashad and in Kartik, both the Ekadashis, there is a huge crowd of devotees that they go to Pandarpur and they take darshan there. They walk around 250 to 300 kilometers like that, or even more probably, and then they walk just, and then they take darshan of, Panduranga. Now, for my experience personally, because I have been to Pandarpur many times from my childhood, I feel a special attachment to Pandarpur Dham. And very old days, I mean, of course, when I was not very old, when I was young as a child, we could actually do puja to Panduranga deity personally. So we can request for a puja, and the devotee, like whoever has requested the puja, they could actually massage the deity of the Lord while they are bathing, while all the pujaris are pouring milk and all the ghee and yogurt. That time, actually, all of us could go and massage the Lord. That time it was allowed. But later on, this custom for allowing the devotees to, touch the vigraha and bathe themselves was stopped. But I remember my parents personally doing it, and different our all extended families, they did. And it's a very beautiful darshan of Panduranga to see him. Of course, we can see the videos now. But still, even then, if we cannot actually massage the deity, we can actually touch the lotus feet of the Lord by putting our head on the Panduranga's lotus feet. This is the only deity where this privilege is allowed for the devotees, in all over the other, compared to all other dhams. So how Panduranga is very, very merciful that he is, easily allows a devotee to take his shelter by touching his lotus feet. And now Panduranga's Pandarpur, the name itself is called as, sometimes it is also called as Pundalik, Pandarpur, Pandari, and there are many other names in different related to different pastimes. Now Pandarpur itself, it means, Pandar means like Pandu. Pandu means like dull or little light color, like dust. And it is said that when Dwarkadhish Krishna, he traveled from Dwarika to this place. That time, when he was walking towards the Pandarpur to meet his devotee, and also to search for Rukmini, because she was doing Manalila. She was upset or something. At that time, when she was when Panduranga is walking, all the dust of the yatra that covered the Lord's face, it make it look like whitish, like a dull pale color. So that's why the Lord is also called as Panduranga. And the Lord is called as Vittala because it stands on a wheat or a brick. There is also a very beautiful pastime behind that name. Now, initially, to begin with, Pandarpur Dham is spiritual capital, said as a Adhyatmik Rajdhani for the Maharashtra. And in this particular place, before it is also called as Lohadanda Kshetra. So Lohadanda Kshetra, there is a pastime about Indra, and when Indra actually he associated with Ahalya by trick, and he took the form of Gautama Rishi, and then he associated with Ahalya. That time, Gautama Rishi actually cursed Indra to have openings all over his body, and then he cursed Ahalya Devi to become like a stone. But for Ahalya Devi, it was like a boon, And Lord Ramachandra's grace, by Lord Ramachandra's grace, she was delivered from the curse and she regained her form and reunited with Gautama Rishi, her husband. But for Indra, he actually went to, he was repenting and he went to Lord Vishnu and he asked, how can I actually get rid of this, curse? And then it is said that Lord Vishnu gave him a Loha Danda. And the Loha Danda he gave, and he said that you have to go on pilgrimage. You have to go on pilgrimage and all the tirthas, and whichever tirtha this Loha Danda will float, in that place you bathe, and there you will get delivered of this curse. And then Indradev, he traveled all over the place, and he tried to immerse the Lohadanda in different places. And finally, when he came to this place, it is also called Indiravan. There actually Chandrabhaga river is there, and then there he, in one of the on the banks of Chandrabhaga river, he actually put the Lohadanda, and that the Lohadanda started floating. So the Acharyas say that it is also said that even the boats made of iron will float there. But then when Indra saw that, as Lord Vishnu said, this is floating, he immediately bathed into the Chandrabhaga river, and then he was delivered of his curse. And then from that time onwards, this particular place is called as Lohadanda Kshetra. So the Chandrabhaga river itself has a very beautiful pastime. Before going into more pastimes, I also wanted to mention that there is many chapters on Pandarpur Mahatmya, Panduranga Mahatmya in Skanda Purana and Padma Purana, and all this information comes from those Puranas. And I have heard His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj and His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj and many other senior devotees glorifying Pandarpur, and I just try to learn from them, and I'm repeating what I learned from them. And some of my own experiences whenever I went to Pandarpur, I'll just share a little bit of those. So of all the devotees assembled here, if anything you find more to add or to correct me, something I forgot, so please feel free to speak up in between. So now for the Chandrabhaga river, the river Chandrabhaga actually came from the sweat of Lord Shiva. So there was a very great demon, Tripurari. His story is there in the Bhagavata Purana. Many of you may have read it. And Lord Shiva actually helped. This demon was very terrible, and he was troubling all the demigods. So Indra went and asked for the help, and Lord Shiva actually helped the devatas. And while Lord Shiva was helping the demons, and he was fighting Tripurari. Tripurari was the one who was having the 3 mansions floating in the sky, and then Lord Shiva, for many years, he had a big battle. He fought, and it is said that there is a transcendental sweat came out of the body of Lord Shiva, and that sweat. Lord Shiva's sweat is not like an ordinary person's sweat like that. It's very pure, and it's like a tirtha. So that profuse sweat started flowing. And in this battle, Lord Shiva defeated the Tripura demon, and he actually made all the demigods safe. Now the sweat that coming from Lord Shiva took a huge form, and it started flowing towards the Vittala deity. And there it was making huge sound as if flood is coming. Now all the residents of Pandarpur, they went to Kshetrapal. Every dham has actually a Kshetrapal deity which protects the dham. So in Pandarpur, there is a Kshetrapal called Bhairavanath. He is Lord Shiva himself again. So all the residents, they went running to Kshetrapal deity Bhairavanath and they prayed intensely to Lord Shiva that, we see a huge flood is coming and you please protect us. It's going to drown the whole town and we'll lose our lives and we need to protect this dham. So then Bhairavanath actually said, I will take care. And then he came out and then he spoke to the river that's flowing. It is said that Lord Shiva, when that origin of the river happened, it happened in Bhima Shankar. It's one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. So the river that formed is also called as the Bhima River. So she's flowing from there, and then she comes down all the way. Then she merges into Indrayani and goes towards more south. But when she came to the Pandarpur, that time, so Bhairavanath said, he requested to the Bhima river, said, you have to calm down. You cannot flood this area. You have to calm down and you flow very peacefully. And obeying Lord Bhairavanath's request, the Bhima river started flowing very peacefully, and she flew around the temple in a half moon shape. So then she is also called as Chandrabhaga river. Now we saw why this is called Lohadanda Kshetra, and we saw how Chandrabhaga river is formed. For Chandrabhaga river, it is Santa Tukaram Maharaj. He is a very ardent devotee of Lord Vittala, and he says that Karitase Papa Bhanga Chandrabhaga. So basically, Chandrabhaga Maji Bahina Karitase Papa Bhanga basically is saying that she is like my sister for a devotee, and she is the one who gets rid of all the sins for a devotee who takes bath in her waters. So this is the Glories of Chandrabhaga that is sung by Santa Tukaram. Now, the deity of Vittala itself, how it has come, we can. It is actually a very beautiful pastime of a devotee, and the whole pastime, the appearance of Lord Vittala Panduranga in Pandarpur Kshetra in Maharashtra, is based on Vaishnava Seva. So there was a very pious Brahmin couple staying in the Lohadanda Kshetra, and their name was Janudev and Satyavati, and they were very pure and pious Vaishnavas. They worshipped Lord Vishnu, and they were very, very clean life and a very auspicious life they were living. But their son, named Pundalik, was not so inclined to devotion, and he was very disrespectful to his parents. And the parents, Satyavati, Mother Satyavati Devi, and Janadev, they thought that we should get married. Our son Pundalik, maybe he will improve. Maybe he will start behaving nicely. So they got him married after his wife came, but still he was not improved, and he was very, very neglectful towards his parents and towards his duties. So the Janudev and Satyavati, they thought that it is better to, we go on pilgrimage than staying in the home with such a, nuisance son. And they asked Pundalik that could you send us, to Kashi? And Pundalik said, I can't help, you take care of yourself. And then Janudev and Satyavati, they started on their own to go towards the Kashi. On their own, they started traveling, and they pray in a prayerful mode. Whatever comes on the Lord's accord, in that mode, they started traveling towards Kashi. And then then that time, what happened was, somehow Pundalik and his wife also came to know many more people are going to Kashi, and then they thought that probably it's a good idea, and everybody's going. And somehow or other, they got inspired that they should also go. So they had a horse carriage. They started to going towards Kashi, and and while they are going on their way, they saw their parents also, Satyadev and Satyavati and Janudev, the parents, they are walking by, but Pundalik didn't care for them. He didn't ask them that, oh, you please sit with us and go with us or anything like that. And he just neglected them, and then he went on with his travel. On the way to Kashi, because earlier the travels used to take many days, so they would stop many places. He stopped on a ashram to take rest, and then it was ashram of Kukkutamuni. Now, this story is also told by in the Puranas. It is told by Lord Shiva to Sati, and Lord Shiva, he also mentions that to Parvati Devi, that Kukkutamuni is very pious soul. He is a completely attached to the Lord, and there is no devotee like him that Lord has, and that's why he always stayed in his ashram, and he never traveled to any pilgrimage places, but he always chanted the Lord's names, and he always served his parents very nicely. And his purity was his attachment to the holy name and his service to his Vaishnava parents. Now, uh, so that's how Lord Shiva answered Parvati when he said, what is the specialty of Kukkutamuni? So in this ashram, Pundalik comes and he wants to take rest. So he comes and he meets Kukkutamuni, and he says that, I would like to take rest for night. Can I, stay? And the Kukkutamuni is very welcoming. He always welcomes all the devotees who are traveling, and he serves them very nicely. So he said, of course you can stay and, take good rest here. Then Pundalik asked, do you know how much farther is travel is remaining for, approximately to reach Kashi? And then Kukkutamuni says that, I'm really sorry, I never been to Kashi, so I don't really know. And then Pundalik laughs. He says, you are such a great Muni, you make a big show of staying in an ashram and doing such a big puja and things like that. You haven't never been to Kashi? And he laughs. And Kukkutamuni is very soft-hearted, and he neglects the comment made by Pundalik, and then he arranges for Pundalik to stay. And then after some time, Pundalika's parents, Satyadev and Janudev and Satyavati Devi, they both reach to the same ashram, and they take rest in the same ashram. And they are there taking rest. And that time, when Pundalik is sleeping in the night, what happens is he hears some sound, and then he gets up, and then he sees there are three very extraordinarily beautiful ladies. They come into the ashram and they start cleaning the ashram, but even though they are very beautiful, they are all very their clothes became dirty, and their appearance looks like they got a lot of dirt and their tiredness on them. That's how their appearance looked like, and it looked very kind of suspicious to Pundalik. What is happening? Why these weird looking ladies are coming, and how come they became so dirty and with dirty clothes, and what are they up to? And then Pundalik goes and he tries to see what they are doing. So these all three women, they come, they take the different cleaning paraphernalia like a mop, a broom, and water buckets, and they start cleaning the ashram of Kukutamuni. And they clean so nicely each and every peck of the dust, and then all the corners and the walls and everything they clean very nicely, and with much sincerity and devotion. And when they are done cleaning the ashram, then their appearance totally changes. They become very effulgent and very beautiful, and their clothes start dazzling. Their appearances has some aura around them. They look very blissful and not at all tired anymore. And then Pundalik is wondering what exactly happened here. He's very curious. He goes to them and he approaches, and he says, all of the oh ladies, who are you all? And I was seeing that you all came into the ashram. You started cleaning the ashram, and you were very tired and buried like under the mud. You looked very dirty. Now you look so beautiful and effulgent. So how did this happen, and who are you all? He asks. And then one of the ladies, he says that we don't really want to answer your questions. You are a very simple person. And then Pundalik is very taken aback. And he says, what did I do? He was thinking that what exactly sin I have done? Why are you saying like that? And then the other says, let's go, we will go now. Then the third lady says, no, let's answer his question. And then they start speaking to him, and they say that I am Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. We are Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati rivers. And we actually come here to do seva in Kukutamani's ashram. And how we become dirty is because all the pilgrims who come to bathe in us, they want to give away their sins and their all the unwanted things they give away into these tirthas, and that makes us dirty. And we need to do Vaishnava Seva. We come here and we serve Kukutamuni, a pure Vaishnava, and then we actually become cleansed. And that's how and this is our part of our seva. That's what Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati they mention. And now at this point, Pundalik is wondering, I see. He says, but why did you call me sinful? He asks. And then they mention that you don't realize, you have Vaishnava parents and you neglect them completely and you offend them. And you don't perform any of the duties of a son towards them. And what is the use of you going on a pilgrimage? That's what they say. So then Pundalik is actually very shocked, that somebody is directly telling him like this, which he never heard before. And Pundalik, it is very special that he got darshan of Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. It is very special that he got darshan of Kukutamuni, and that made him realize, because when you see Vaishnava, it is just one moment of association of Vaishnava gives so many blessings, and it purifies one's heart. And the words of Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati also started striking in his heart, and he was thinking, oh, he became very thoughtful. So then Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati mentioned that you must serve your parents, to get rid of all your sins, and you become an obedient son and serve your Vaishnava parents. Now, at this point, Pundalik has a change of heart, and then he starts serving his parents. He goes to his parents in the ashram. He, holds on to their feet, and he begs forgiveness. And he says that, please forgive all my mistakes. I was very, very ignorant, and kindly give me a chance and allow me to serve you. And then he takes them, he takes so nice care of them. He every day serves them very nicely. He reads scriptures to them. He cooks for them. He massages their feet every day. They are very elderly and old people. So he's doing everything to bring joy to them. Now, we may think that suddenly just one conversation and with the Vaishnavas, and it makes such a change of heart. But we should realize that actually this Pundalik is King Muchukunda in his last life. Now the story of Muchukunda comes, and Muchukunda's pastime is described in Bhagavatam, very beautifully described. This um, Pundalik was King Muchukunda in his previous life, and he had actually served. He had actually served the devatas in the war that happened between the demons and the demigods, and that was back in Satyuga, and many yugas back, basically. So in that birth, we will see now what exactly happened, because um, sometimes we see some devotees, they pick up the devotional service very fast, just quickly, and probably at a very young age, and that means they are continuing their devotional service from their last life. And this is exactly what happened, to Pundalik. So Pundalik in last life is Muchukunda, and in that life, if we go back to Satyuga, there when he helped the demigods, then he helped them win this war between demons and devatas, and the devatas emerged victorious with the help of King Muchukunda. And they asked all the demigods, they asked, we want to give you a boon, and please ask for a boon. What would you like to have? And then King Muchukunda is so tired that he actually wants to sleep. So he worked really hard, and at that moment, on top of his head is that I want to sleep. And then he said that I want to sleep and I don't want anybody to disturb my sleep. So he asked for such a boon that if nobody should disturb his sleep. That's how he was asked. He said that if anybody would disturb me or wake me up, and when I wake up and look at them, they'll burn to ashes. This is the boon I wanted. Now, okay, the demigod said, okay, it looks like he's very tired. So we grant the boon, Tathastu. And then Muchukunda, he goes to a cave, he falls asleep, and he's very happy that I get to rest now. Now, Muchukunda is sleeping in a cave, and for many yugas. And in Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna wants to deliver Muchukunda. He says, my devotee is a nice devotee, I want to deliver him. And he thinks of a way how to deliver him, because nobody can wake him up. So the Lord does this pastime of killing the Kala Yavana. So the Kala Yavana, so what happens is in Dwapar Yuga, when Jarasandha is attacking Dwarika 18th time, 17th time he's already defeated, and that time Kala Yavana also attacks. And he had a boon that he cannot be defeated by Yadava. So Krishna, when Kala Yavana comes, Krishna sees, and then he starts running. And Kala Yavana starts laughing, ha ha ha. Look at this, great king of Dwarika. He's running away and he's so afraid of me. And then, Krishna has his own plan. Definitely, he's not afraid or anything, but he's trying to, make things happen for his devotee. So the Lord, he goes to the cave where Muchukunda is sleeping. And then there, Lord puts his upper garment on Muchukunda and he sleeps. He hides there, and then Muchukunda is still sleeping. Kalayavana comes running there, and then he sees that this some person is lying here, but he looks very different. Doesn't look like, Krishna, he has, I mean, hair is grown so much, his nails have grown so much, and he's all beard, and because he's sleeping for yoga, so many yogas, so he thinks that he is a very trickster, Krishna is so trickster. I know you changed your form and you're sleeping here. And then Kalayavana says, this is big Mayavi, you are what kind of Mayavi, I know you are. And then he actually kicks sleeping Muchukunda. Now Kalayavana kicks Muchukunda, and Muchukunda wakes up. Muchukunda wakes up, he's like, who woke me up? He looks around. He looks around and Kalayavana is standing there, ha ha ha. And then he looks at Kalayavana, and Kalayavana reduces to ashes. So now Muchukunda's sleep is done. He's woke up now. He's alert and awake, and Lord's purpose is fulfilled. He wanted his devotee to be not to be sleeping so long, and get up and do devotional service and deliver himself. Lord wants. He's the best well-wisher, right? The Lord. So that's what his desire for his devotee Muchukunda, the King Muchukunda. Now Muchukunda is looking around that, okay, this person woke me up and he is burned to ashes, just like the boon I got. He looks around, and then in the cave he sees that the whole cave is become very effulgent. It's so much light, and is effulgence in the cave, and he looks very carefully that the Supreme Lord, the Krishna, is standing there. Okay, the Krishna is standing there, and all these shlokas in Bhagavatam are very, very, beautifully written. And this is the 10th canto, 51st chapter in the Bhagavatam, and we can actually, everybody can read that. So when the Muchukunda sees Lord there, he sees a very beautiful form of the Lord. Now, this is the form of the Lord which Muchukunda saw, and it entered into the core of his heart, and he didn't want the Lord to go anywhere. And that form, the description of the Lord's form, is very beautifully written in Bhagavatam. Maybe Prabhuji can pull out 10th canto, 51st chapter, and 23rd to 26th shloka. They are one after another anyway, so you can just read the. You can read the Sanskrit and then translation.
10th canto,
51st chapter. I'm just gonna do a time check. Okay.
Which verse, Mataji?
23rd. Yeah, 23rd to 26th, basically. Yeah. So here, I'm going to read the Sanskrit and then followed by translation. So if you can keep the Devanagari, Prabhuji, that will be helpful for me. Yeah. Tamalokya ghanashyamam pitakausheya vasasam Shivatsavakshasam Rajat Kaustubhena Virajitam Chaturbhujam Rochamanam Vaijayantya Chamalaya Charu Prasanna Vadanam Spuran Makara Kundalam Prekshaniyam Lokasya Sanuraga Smitekshanam Api Vyavayasam Mritag Mrugendrodara Vikramam Paryapruchan Mahabuddhis Tejasa Tasya Dharshitaha Shankitaha Shanakairaja Durdharshamiva Tejasa. Translation. As he gazed at the Lord, King Muchukunda saw that he was dark blue like a cloud, had 4 arms, and wore a yellow silk garment. On his chest, he bore the Srivatsamar, and his neck the brilliantly glowing Kaustubha gem. Adorned with a Vaijayanti garland, the Lord displayed his handsome, peaceful face, which attracts the eyes of all mankind with its shark-shaped earrings and affectionately smiling glance. The beauty of his youthful form was unexcelled, and he moved with the nobility of an angry lion. The highly intelligent king was overwhelmed by the Lord's effulgence, which showed him to be invincible. Expressing his uncertainty, Muchukunda hesitantly questioned Lord Krishna as follows. So I just read this. We can stop sharing, Prabhuji. I'm just gonna share now from the memory. So I shared this because the description of the Lord is so beautiful that the Muchukunda, King Muchukunda couldn't take his eyes off the Lord. And he asked the Lord, "Who are you? Who are you? Where did you come from? Are you some Agni Dev, Surya Dev, some of the demigods, or are you Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh?" But I suspect that you are mostly Vishnu because so much effulgence and remover of the darkness is Lord Vishnu. So these are all the shlokas in the Bhagavatam that I'm just summarizing. And then the Lord is so, he's very sweet. He's very humbly. He's introducing himself. He says that I am. I know past, present, future, everything, and nobody can know me. I'm Kalatit. Beyond the time, nobody can know me. But in this birth, I am born as a son of Vasudev. So Vasudev. I'm born as a son of Vasudev. So he's telling like that. So Lord is very humbly introducing himself. Who is he? This is such a nice description there. And he tells everything. And then after everything about him, he says, I killed Putana, I killed Keshi demon, he tells all the big asuras names also, and Lord describes everything to Muchukunda. I'm that Krishna who killed all these demons, and I'm Nanda's son, Yashoda's son, known as Yashoda Nandana. And he describes everything, and then Muchukunda offers, prostrated obeisances to the Lord, and he is feeling so much love for the Lord. And the Lord says that you are my devotee, and I really want you to have a boon. Ask for a boon. And then Muchukunda says that the one who delivers all the three worlds, once whose lotus feet once I got, then who is a only fool will ask for any boon, he says. I don't want anything else. He says that, my dear Lord, this form of yours, so effulgent and so beautiful and so merciful form of yours, always be an object of my eyes, and you never move away from my, in front of my eyes. And then the Lord says that he replies to Muchukunda that I'm very pleased that you didn't ask for a boon. You didn't get distracted even though I offered you a boon. And he says that in this life, I will not stay in front of you like this as you requested, but I will fulfill your desire in next life. And in this life, you will actually meditate on me and roam all over the places in meditation of me. And then this way you will get delivered. And in next life, you will be born as a very pious Brahmana family. And then you will, you will achieve me. That's what the Lord says. And then that's the next word is Pundalik. And from listening from all the acharyas, we understand that the King Muchukunda is actually Pundalik, and Lord actually when he comes to from Dwarika to Lower Danda Kshetra to find Rukmini Devi, because she is doing Manalila that time. That time he also comes to see Pundalik because he has to fulfill his promise that he will come and deliver, and he will be there present in front of him in a beautiful form. So the Lord comes and sees Pundalik when he's serving his parents. He's a very nice devotee now this time. So this is because of all his pious credits and his bhakti in his last birth. Actually, the Lord came to see Pundalik. So it is said that Pundalika bheti parab brahma alega charani vahe bhima udharasi jaga. That's what Santa Tukaram. I think this is Santa Tukaram's Abhanga. it is said that to meet this Pundalik, Lord, the Supreme Lord himself has come, and at his lotus feet, Chandrabhaga river is flowing. Charani Vahe Bhima Uddharasi Jaga. Bhima, who is also known as Chandrabhaga, is flowing, and she is delivering the whole world like that, and the Lord himself also. So, like this, so now when the Lord comes to visit Pundalik, that time there are very beautiful shlokas that are found in different places that describe this visit of the Lord to Pundalik. I'm just gonna summarize them. So the Lord comes and while Pundalik is massaging the feet of his parents, and then Lord says, Pundalik, I have come to see you. Pundalik doesn't know who is in the back because he's facing the back to the door. And then he turns around and he sees that the Dwarkadish is standing there. Lord Krishna himself is coming all the way from Dwarka, and he says, I have come to see you. And then Pundalik is saying, I'm serving my parents, my dear Lord. Can I please finish this seva, and I will attend to you immediately after that. And then there is a brick nearby. Then he gives that brick towards the Lord, and he says, kindly stand and rest over this, and I will attend to you as soon as I'm done with my parents' seva. Now the Lord is standing on the brick with his, if you have seen Lord Vittala's deity, he puts his hands on his waist, and he's in the form where he's in a kind of waiting posture, and that is the deity of Panduranga, and he actually waited, and after Pundalik is done with the seva of his parents, he turns towards the Lord, and he offers his dandavats, and he holds on to the lotus feet of the Lord, and he cries the tears that, my Lord, you have come to see me all the way just to see me. You are coming to my home to visit me. And he was very surprised and very happy, and all the commotion within his heart. He starts crying. The descriptions are very beautiful and long verses. And then the Lord says, yes, I'm here now. And the Pundalik says, the Lord says, you ask now what you want. And then Pundalik says that, my Lord, I want you to stay just like your beautiful form and merciful form has appeared for me here to deliver me. I want you to deliver the whole world. You please stay here, never go away, and be here to deliver whoever comes to see you. And be merciful, be here. And then Lord says, Katha. And then the Lord stays there. From that time he's there. So he's the Swayambhu Bhagavan. Nobody has created that deity. The Lord has appeared by himself, and then he stays there. He stayed there for his the devotee Pundalik. He took the deity form and he stayed there. Now, in many years back, when I went to Pandarpur, probably in 2003, and I was already came in touch with devotees. And when we went to Pandarpur to take darshan, we also went to ISKCON Pandarpur. That time, ISKCON Pandarpur was a very small temple, and it was surrounded by all the farms, and it was almost like you can only see the farm, and then there is a small shikhar can see in the farm peeking out. So when you go nearby, then there's a small temple. So we went. My parents were there, and they have their that time they had Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And 2003, almost 20 years back, around 19-20 years back. So Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra there, the darshan was closed for the afternoon. And the pujari sat there and he talked with us, and he said that it is so nice that you came to take darshan of Panduranga. And he told the story of why Panduranga came to Pandarpur. And this story I never heard in any of the classes that I heard or readings I did about the Pandarpur, but that devotee told like this, that once Narada Muni, Lord Krishna is talking to Narada Muni, and he says he's very very despondent and sad. He said that I never served my parents. He says that when I was Lord Ram, I left them. I went into the forest, and my father passed away when I was not around. I didn't serve them. And then he said, in even for Mother Vasudev and Devaki, they were in jail. I never served them so nicely. And then I left Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj also. And then I went to Dwaraka. I never served them also. And then I feel so much pain thinking about all of them, that I didn't take care of them like that. That the devotee is telling like that. And then Narada Muni says that, my dear Lord, you please give darshan to a devotee who's serving his Vaishnava parents very nicely, and then you will feel relieved. Something in that terms that the devotee told, and then devotee said that that's why Lord Krishna planned to come to visit Pundalik, who was serving his Vaishnava parents very, very diligently. Now, that time when we took the darshan was closed, and the devotee was telling this very nice pastime, and then he said that, okay, even the darshan is closed, I'm going to open it little bit, and I'm going to quickly have you take darshan. And we were so happy that, Lord Jagannath just peeked out of the, he quickly moved, and curtains, we bowed down, and it was really, really very merciful of Lord Jagannath to give darshan. And then the devotee took us into the inner quarters. There were Gaurnitai deities. And he said that these deities are going to get installed, soon. And we got them. There are really big deities were there. And we were so happy, me, my parents, we were there. And my mama. So we were all went that time. And Sri Gopal Prabhu had not come that time. I had gone for my younger sister's wedding in 2003. Prabhu came in later. We took the darshan, and I told the whole story to Sugar Balbu as soon as I was very excited. And we got darshan of Gornitai, and then, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. And then later down the many years, we know that Radha Pandarinath, Krishna and Radha Krishna deities are installed by Loknath Maharaj there, and there's a big temple there. So yeah, that was our visit that time. And now we came up to how the Lord is situated there. And now we can also go through some of the visits of our different acharyas that they have gone to Pandarpur. And first we can think of Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva himself. He appeared to teach Mayavad, but then he actually went to Pandarpur, and he saw the Panduranga Vittala Dev deity, and he was so mesmerized with the beautiful form of the Lord, and he actually wrote Pandurangashtakam. Pandurangashtakam is very beautiful prayer. I thought we will sing it, but it's not very well known, and it's really long, but I tried to sing it. It's such a beautiful prayer. Maybe some other time we can sing. And also Adi Shankaracharya has written Jagannath Ashtakam also. So Pandurangashtakam is also very special. So that is about his visit. And then we also know that from the Madhvacharya's line, actually Madhvacharya established 8 principal matas, which is called Ashtamatas, and then in each matha there is a Ishtadev is established by Madhvacharya, and he appointed 8 sannyasis at the head of the matha, and he of the 8 matas having 8 different deities. Of course, all the deities are Vishnu Tattva deities, and of the 8 deities, 3 of the deities are Vittala. So let me try to remember. One is a Pejavar Mutt, another is Puttige Mutt, and the third one is Shirur Mutt. So 3 of them have Vittala, along with Sridevi and Bhudevi, and one of them is with Rukmini and Satyabhama, the deity. And Radhanath Maharaj describes that Pejawar Swami, Mat Swami, even now after so many years of even establishing the deity of 800 or some years, he still, the deity, the head of the Mat, he carries the deity of Vittala along with him wherever he goes and he worships him. That's what Maharaj was describing. So that is related to Madhvacharya. And then we have, I'm going to just check quickly on my notes here. So that
Mataji, do you want me to share that doc?
No, not yet, Prabhuji.
Not yet.
I hope we get time for that.
Okay, okay.
I think I'm running very slow here, but we'll try. Not yet. I'll call you for Mudanga. Okay, thank you, Advaita. Yeah, so then there is a very beautiful description of Lord Nityananda's visit. So Lord Nityananda's visit is described in Bhakti Ratnakar, and this Bhakti Ratnakar is written by Sri Narahari Chakravarti. He's also known as Ganesham Das. And this Bhakti Ratnakar describes the visit of Lord Nityananda to coming to Pandarpur. So Lord Nityananda actually he stayed at a home of a very pure, when he came to Pandarpur, he stayed with a very pure-hearted Brahmana, and the Brahmana was serving Lord Nityananda very nicely. And one time the Brahmana told Nityananda Prabhu that my Guru is coming, and he is Lakshmipati Tirtha. And Lakshmipati Tirtha is actually one of the very great Acharyas in Madhva tradition that time. So when Brahmana told that, and Lord Nityananda actually went hiding. And when the Brahmana's Guru and Guru came, Brahmana's Guru Lakshmipati Tirtha, he came, and the Brahmana is serving his Guru Lakshmipati Tirtha. Lakshmipati Tirtha is staying in the Pandarpur, and one night Lakshmipati Tirtha has a dream, and in the dream he sees Lord Balaram. He sees Lord Balaram. He comes into his dream, seeing Lord Balaram in his dream, and he's so effulgent, and he looks like a color of a spring cloud, and he has lotus-like eyes, reddish, and they're intoxicated with love. And the description is so beautiful. Radhanath Maharaj describes it very beautifully, and I'm just trying to describe. So the Lord is looking so effulgent, and his whitish form is decorated with the garland of wild flowers. And then he has a blue turban and a dazzling blue dhoti, and he's looking very mercifully smiling. And when Lakshmipati Tirtha is seeing Lord Balaram in front of him, he is in full ecstasy. He offers prostrated obeisances, and he offers his life to the Lord Balaram in his dream. And Lord Balaram, he talks to his dear devotee. He says that in the morning, one young boy will come to you, and you should initiate him with the transcendental mantra. And then Lord Balaram disappears in the morning. As soon as Lakshmipati Tirtha gets up, immediately there's a knock on his door, and Lord Nityananda appears, and he says, he begs for initiation, His Lord's Leela. Lord Nityananda is staying in Pandarpur, and then Lakshmipati Tirtha, he just comes and begs to Lakshmipati Tirtha, please give me initiation. And as instructed by Lord Balaram, Lakshmipati Tirtha gives Diksha to Nityananda, Lord Nityananda. And then later, Lord Nityananda, he humbly, accepts the Diksha. He humbly offers his service to the Guru Lakshmipati Tirtha, and then Lord Nityananda leaves. And then later in another dream, Lord Nityananda reveals to Lakshmipati Tirtha that he is not different than Lord Balaram. He's the Lord Balaram himself. And then Lakshmipati Tirtha goes into total ecstasy, and he doesn't describe anything to anybody what he saw, but he is in complete samadhi, and he is totally blissful. and he starts crying that what is this? I mean, Lord comes to me to take diksha from me, and he's so kind. The Lord is so kind that he accepted my service in this way by taking diksha from me and being accepting him myself as his guru in a service, as a service, my service. And then he becomes completely absorbed in Lord Balaram's thoughts, in Lord Nityananda's thoughts, and then eventually, just by thinking at the lotus feet of Lord Balaram and Lord Nityananda, Lakshmipati Tirtha, he attains the spiritual abode. So this is very important historical event of initiation of Lord Nityananda that happens in Pandarpur. And then we have Lord Chaitanya visiting Pandarpur Dham. We'll go over that quickly. Very beautiful verses are there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Probably we can, after some, let me quickly summarize it, and then we can go through the verses. So, Lord Chaitanya Charitamrita directly describes Lord Chaitanya's South India tour, and then how he went to Pandarpur Dham also. And Chaitanya Charitamrita describes that Lord Gauranga in that area, so in Maharashtra, when he visits, he goes to Kolhapur, he worships Lakshmi Devi there. Then he goes to Nashik, Panchavati, he worships Lord Ram there. Then he also goes to Krishna Vena river, where he finds Krishna Karnamrita of Bilumangal Thakur, and Acharya says that it is Satara part of the Maharashtra, current Satara. And the Lord, he comes to Pandarpur and he sees the Vittala Deva deity, and he is completely blissful, and he starts dancing in front of the Panduranga deity of Pandarpur. And when the Lord is dancing, the Lord's form is very tall compared to others. And when he started dancing, it looked so beautiful. And he's immersing all the people into Prem Sankirtan. So what happens is, when he starts dancing, all the residents of Pandarpur, he comes and just to see the Lord's beautiful form and his chanting of the holy names, and he's immersing into the the form of the Lord. Everybody comes around, and they are captivated seeing Lord's dance. And then not just residents of Pandarpur, actually all the surrounding villages of the Pandarpur, they also come and they also see. And it is said that the Lord is putting his hands in the air, and then he's dancing like this. Everybody from distance can see his hands, and also the Lord is jumping, and then devotees can see his lotus feet, because the Lord is so tall. And everybody, those who all, everybody who saw that darshan of Lord Chaitanya dancing in love and devotion in front of the Panduranga deity, and they all got purified. They got this wonderful opportunities to see the Lord. It's such a good fortune for all of them. And this is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then Lord, actually in Pandarpur, he stayed in a Brahmana's home, and there in the Brahmana's home there there is one. In the Brahmana's home, he heard that one of the great disciples of Madhavendra Puri is going to visit. And then the great disciple is Sri Rangapuri. So now when Sri Rangapuri comes, the Lord sees him, and the Sri Rangapuri is a pure Vaishnava. He his form, looking, the Lord Gauranga looks at him, and his most effulgent form of Sri Rangapuri, and the Lord is so happy to see basically Sri Rangapuri, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offers obeisances because he is his guru's god brother, because Ishwar Puri is Madhavendra Puri's disciple. Now he is worshipping his guru's god brother as his own guru, and then he's completely in bliss. Now it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita that when Sri Rangapuri saw Lord Chaitanya, and then he thought that he somehow or other he is connected to Madhavendra Puri. Otherwise, it's not possible. He has so much bliss and love and devotion to him. And then Lord Chaitanya says, my Guru Maharaj is Sri Ishwarapuri. And then they both embraced each other. They both cried tears of love and affection. They bathed each other. And then it is mentioned that for 5 to 7 days, they hear Krishna Katha. Lord Chaitanya is describing Lord Krishna's glories, and then they hear over there. And after 5 to 7 days, Sri Rangapuri asks, "So where are you from?" And now he asks, where do you come from? And then Lord says that I'm from Navadvip. And then Sri Rangapuri said, "No, Navadvip. That reminds me of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. We went while serving our Guru Maharaj Madhavendra Puri. We stayed at this Brahmana couple's home. They are devotion personified." He starts glorifying Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, and he says they are the devotion personified, and their attachment to the Supreme Lord and their purity is something we can never forget. And he said, "I want to tell you that Sachi Devi, she is like a universal mother. She cooked for all the sadhus, and she took care of all the sadhus as if they were her own child. And I remember the banana flower sabzi she made, I can never forget. Whatever she cooked is having her heart's devotion in it, and it became so nectarian that I cannot describe it." And like that, Sri Rangapuri is describing. Now, Sri Rangapuri, he says further that they had a son named Vishwarup, and he was an ocean of all the good qualities. And whoever talks to him, he won their hearts. And his absorption in the devotion for the Supreme Lord is nobody can match it. And then like that, Sri Rangapuri is describing. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is listening, Lord Gauranga is listening, and then oh yeah, and then he also mentioned ahead that when Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, they arranged for the marriage of Vishwarup. Vishwarup was not at all interested, and he didn't want to get into the family life, and without letting anybody know, he quietly left the home. And then later he became sannyasi, and he was known as Shankararanya Swami or Shankararanya as sannyasi. And then he traveled all the pilgrimage places all over India, and then he came to Pandarpur. And there, Vishwarup, as a Shankararanya in a sannyasi form, he saw the Panduranga deity. He bathed into Chandrabhaga river, and he was completely taken over by the beauty of the Panduranga, and he felt completely blissful there, and he felt at peace and happiness. So he decided to live rest of his life in Pandarpur, and he did. This is where Sri Rangapuri is describing to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that so this way Vishwarup stayed here rest of his life. This is where he stayed, and he worshipped Panduranga every single day. He bathed in Chandrabhaga river every day, and he for hours and hours he chanted in front of the Panduranga deity. And then um, and then this is where he actually entered in Mahasamadhi finally and attained and went back to spiritual world. That's what Srirangapuri described to Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya is, he's quietly listening. And then he said that Lord Chaitanya then revealed to Srirangapuri that I'm from Navadvip, and the person you are glorifying, Jagannath Mishra, Sachi Mata, they are my dearmost mother and father. Vishwarup is my dearmost brother. And that's how Lord Chaitanya revealed to Srirangapuri. And then they again embraced each other, and then Sri Rangapuri went to Dwarika, and then Lord Chaitanya went towards Krishna River, where he found Krishna Karnamrita. So that's his further journey within the region of Maharashtra. So this is where this beautiful pastime of Lord Chaitanya's visit to see Vittala Dev happened, and where he did hours and hours of Sankirtan. He stayed for 11 days, as per Chaitanya Charitamrita's description in Pandarpur, and very absorbed himself over there. I'll just quickly read this verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Madhya Leela 9. Madhya Leela 9 and verse 242. It is say, Tatha haite Pandarpure Aila Gaura Chandra Vittala Thakura Dekhi Paila Ananda. So I don't want to go through because we don't have time. I thought you will read all the verses, but I described it. But the verses are very beautiful, so I'm very tempted to read. Prema Veshe Kaila Bahuta Kirtana Nartana Tahana Eka Vipratanda Kaila Nimantrana. So basically, Vittal Thakur, it is mentioned as Vittal Thakur for the Panduranga Vittala in this particular portion of Madhya Leela 9th chapter. Now we have 5 minutes remaining. So I think of all the different topics, I would quickly talk about the saints of Maharashtra, Sant Tukaram Maharaj, and he is stayed in Dehu, in the region of Maharashtra, and then he used to go for Ashadi and Kartiki Vari, which is coming now. Ashadi Ekadashi is coming. That's when the Shaina Ekadashi also, when the Lord goes to Yoga Nidra. And on this occasion, all the devotees, they go to the Pandarpur and they walk, and it is called a Vari. So to be quick, in earlier days, they used to walk from their home to all the way to the Pandarpur. And now that tradition, even Sant Tukaram Maharaj also used to, go to Ashadi Ekadashi as well as Kartiki Ekadashi to Pandarpur to take darshan of Lord Vittala. And one time when Sant Tukaram was very sick, he couldn't go. He actually wrote a letter to Panduranga, and he gave it to other devotees to give the letter to Panduranga. And he wrote very beautiful 24 abhangas. Some say 24, some Acharyas say 40 abhangas to Lord Vittala, and requesting him and glorifying him that, when will I get to see you? And it is mentioned that when Panduranga is received this letter, then he is thinking that I want to see Tukaram. I cannot stay without seeing him. And then I need to go. Then Rukmini Devi says that, oh, so many. It is said that 10 lakh people, over 10 lakh people assemble during the Ashadi Kartiki Ekadashis in Pandarpur. And then Rukmini says, all the devotees are coming to see you here. If you don't stay here, then who will bless all these devotees visiting you? Then he said, oh, that's right. And then Rukmini Devi said, you send Garuda to bring Tukaram here. And then Garuda goes flying. And then Tukaram, he meets Tukaram and he says, I cannot sit on you. You are Lord Vishnu's vehicle. I cannot put my feet on you. You are the, Lord's servant. You are a Vaishnava. So Tukaram doesn't, he denies to go on the back of Garuda. And then Garuda goes back, and then he tells Vitthal Panduranga that Tukaram Maharaj said, I will not sit, he will not sit on my back, he will not take my service to come here, and he just remained there. And then Panduranga said, all right, nobody can stop me now, I'm going to go and see Tukaram. Then Lord Vittala actually goes and sees Tukaram Maharaj, and he visits him in Dehu. And that's how Acharyas describe this pastime. And there are some the essence of all the Pandarpur Dham is about the Lord giving mercy to his devotees. All the stories of all the devotees of different saints in you know, connected to Lord Vittala, they are immersed in the thoughts of the Lord, and they are doing their duties. Like Santa Janabai, she says, Darita Kandita Tuja Gaina Vittala. She said, Darita Kandita means like while grinding and while doing my daily chores, I will sing about you, my Lord. And then Sant Tukaram Maharaj's very beautiful Abhanga is there. So I would like to quickly sing that. And if Prabhu can share the document, we can quickly. This is a very beautiful Abhanga by Sant Tukaram, written for in the honor of Panduranga. सदा माझे डोळा जडो तुझी मूर्ती. So this is in Marathi, and Advaita, you can sit with us. If let's see if I go fast only when you Mridanga, otherwise I'll just be quick maybe. And I'm going to explain the English also. So the meaning of this Abhanga is that, my dear Lord, let your beautiful form be always be an object of my eyes. And how he addresses the Lord is Rakumai Chapati Soyeria. He says, my dear Lord, who is the husband of Rukmini. Goda tujhe rupa, goda tujhe nama. So that means your form is sweet, your name is sweet, and he gives Deimaza Prema Sarva Kala. He gives me love all the time. Who gives me love all the time? Vithu Mauliye Hachi Varadei Sancharo Nirahi Hridaya Maji. He's saying that Vithu Mauli. So even Vittala is Lord, but they also call him Mauli, like a mother. He said, you always stay within my heart. Please give me only one boon that always stay within the core of my heart of heart. Sancharoni rahi hridaya maji. Always stay within my heart. Tuka mani kahi namago anika tujhe pai sukha sarva hai. That means Tuka mani. Tuka is saying that I don't want anything else, and all the happiness is at your lotus feet. This is the prayer of Tukaram Maharaj. I'm going to just sing it quickly for the closing. This is a small Abhanga. Sada माझे डोळा जडो तुझी मूर्ती रखुमाईच्या पती सोयरिया गोड तुझे रूप गोडा तुझे नामा देई मज प्रेमा सर्वकाळ विठू माऊलिये हाची वरदे संचरोनी राही हृदया माझी तुका मने आता नमागो आनिका तुझे पाई सुखा सर्व आहे. You can stay there, Prabhuji. We are going to do only that part. सदा माझे डोळा जडो तुझी मोठी रखुमाईच्या पती सोयरिया गोड तुझे रूप ओढा तुझी नाम देई माझा प्रेमा सर्व काळ विठू माऊली आजी वरदे संचरो निराही हृदया माझे तुका म्हणे आता न मागो अनेका तुझी पाय सुखा सर्वारी तुका म्हणे आता न मागो अनेका तुझे पाय So this is a beautiful abhanga by Sant Tukaram, and very beautiful meaning which we already went through. And there are more abhangas that I was planning, but we are gonna stop here. And if Ashray Madhav Prabhu is okay, we can take some questions or reflections just for maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, so that or any corrections.
No corrections, Mataji. Even if it is said in Bhagavatam, right, that when you describe the Lord, you don't worry about corrections, right? It's still perfect. It's always perfect, even without the faults. Mataji, you described this pastime so enthusiastically and so nicely. It was very aesthetic, very nice pastime, very nicely you described. I don't know if Yashoda Kripa Prabhu or Sri Gopal Prabhu, if they want to add something.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful class. And I'll be really honest with you. My knowledge of Marathi Maharashtra Bhakti cult was limited only to the name of Sant Tukaram, that they were saying Tukaram, and he used to chant Vittal Vittalji. But today, with your beautiful narration and journey to Pandarpur, it's so much educational and illustrating narration. I was so impressed by that, and really feeling energized after hearing the pastimes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for being there and tolerating me. But and thank you for your kind, encouraging words.
Pleasure.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Ashray Madhav Prabhu, for being there and saying that Lord's descriptions are always purifying and thank you for kindly encouraging. And I'm very grateful to Gandharvika Mataji for giving me this opportunity for glorifying the Lord in my limited capacity. Thank you so much. So there is more to the prayers by Lord, different saints, and some of the pastimes that I wanted to share from my childhood that I couldn't share. Maybe some other time we can do that. Kindly forgive. I went over time 5 minutes. Thank you.
No, that's fine. Time can wait, Mataji, when you describe these wonderful pastimes. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for being there. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Krishna Kripa Sindhu
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Koti Vaishnav ki jai.
Kameshvari Mataji ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.